Gladiator front bumper decision. Which way am I going to go? Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. That's right, I've made a decision, well, a partial decision on what I'm going to do with the front bumper on the Jeep Gladiator. Now, I had made a video not too long ago, kind of trying to decide, taking a look at what I was going to do, because my buddy Randall has a Jeep Gladiator Mojave where he put an aftermarket bumper on, and actually it looks awesome. So I had thought about doing that to my truck, and if I'm being honest, primarily so I could put some lights on the front of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the bumper that he has on there, but my main driver was to be able to put lights on. I did a video not long ago, actually Randall and I did a video installing those little square kind of fog lights, the amber fog lights on the front of his Mojave, and it looks really awesome. So check that out if you're interested to see what that bumper with the light combo looks like. But what I'm going to do for mine, and of course I don't have the Mojave, I have a 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport S. And I've done some things to it. Obviously there are different wheels and tires and blacked out kind of things, and added some accent colors and some different tail lights and all that good stuff. But I still have the original rear bumper for the most part. I did add a tow hook over here. Oh, and these gorgeous green letters on the back. These are too cool. And the Jeep is kind of dirty, by the way. It's one thing about having a tonneau cover, it really does show the dirt. But let's go up here to the front. What I have is the 3-piece, and of course I took the sides off, so it's really a 1-piece Rubicon type bumper. It is the knockoff bumper. I got it off of eBay, and it was a much cheaper way to go, about the third cost of what the Mopar bumper goes for. And I like this bumper. I think it suits the truck. I think it looks good. My primary goal in doing that was to not put the side closeouts on, if you will, so that I could expose the front tire, because I think it looks meaner. I like the way the Jeep looks without that. So the conundrum was the lights. On Randall's, he had put 2 square lights up here on the front, and of course he has a bigger, more hoopish kind of bar on the front of his. But I've been looking at mine, and I had thought before, only because my wife has the same bumper on mine, and I spend more time in the garage away from the truck, so I was kind of looking at her bumper. We'll take a look at the front here, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I noticed there's a difference between hers and mine. The bar on hers is much lower. You can see the space here. And if you were to put lights on, they would actually be right up against this bar. And I don't think that would look good. So I noticed on mine, there is a difference. My bar, as you can probably see right away, is much taller. There's a bigger gap in between here. Now, that means I could mount the same kind of square lights as to what Randall has right up here on the front, and conveniently, and maybe intentionally, I'm not quite sure, there is a spot, 2 spots, where there are screws that I could mount those lights. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because obviously it's much cheaper to go ahead and get those lights and put them on this bumper than to go ahead and buy a whole new bumper, which is about, I think, around somewhere between $1,100 and $1,400, as opposed to, I don't know, maybe $120 or whatever those lights cost. I have to look it up. And then run the wiring up, put myself a switch inside, and connect it up. Now, my only other issue in doing that really is where to put the switch inside, because I don't have that bank of switches like Randall had in his truck. His came with, or it was an option with, this little bank of auxiliary switches already pre-wired, and man, how handy was that? The wires were actually right up at the hood right by the battery, so you could just connect whatever you were doing into it. They already had the relay, already had the fusing, all that stuff. So you didn't even have to use the switch that came with the kit. Me, on the other hand, I don't have that option. So I will have to run a switch inside. The issue for me is going to be where to mount that, because it's one of those little kind of round push kind of toggle switch kind of things. It's not too big, and I should be able to maybe just drill out a little hole and put it like down where my knees are, underneath the gauge cluster area. That's what I'm thinking. Not really a big deal. The biggest problem will probably be trying to figure out how to get the wiring through the firewall. Now, there is one other option that I'm considering, and that is a wireless accessory controller. I have that in my Toyota Tacoma, and I really like that. It's very handy, very convenient. You don't have to run wires anywhere except to that wireless controller. And of course, you have the little remote, if you will, that has the buttons on it that you can push to activate whatever accessory it is you're trying to control. And I will say the pricing on those does seem to have come down a bit. So I may add that to the Jeep, because there are some other lighting options that I'm considering doing in the future, such as some lighting possibly across the front in the grill area, somewhere across here, maybe 7 lights or so, because again, that is something that Randall has that I really like on his truck. And my wife also has that on her Jeep Wrangler. You guys can see the lights right across here. So I think I may go that route. That's kind of my lighting plan right now. I have considered putting a sport bar on, like what I have on the Toyota Tacoma here. This sport bar actually will fit the Gladiator. And coincidentally, the name of this is the Black Horse Gladiator Sport Bar. So maybe it's written in the stars, I don't know. But if I put something like this on the Gladiator, then I could mount lights up above, some kind of square, or maybe the old throwback KC style round lights. I think that would be pretty cool on the truck. We'll have to see. I have seen a Jeep around that has lights like that. Of course, they are chrome. What they're doing is creating the old scrambler kind of Jeep. May have even came that way as a customized model from a dealership somewhere. I'm not sure. I've never seen one before, but there's one in this area. So that's going to be my plan. I am going to go ahead and get the aux beam lights like Randall has on his Gladiator, mount them to the front, and then I guess if I don't like the look or it's not what I want, you know, I could always replace the bumper. Not something that I want to do. There is one other option too, by the way. I could remove this bar up top if it somehow is in the way. I don't think it's going to conflict because the holes do sit well enough in front of this bar. Anyway, that is my plan. That is my Jeep Gladiator bumper solution on the front of the truck. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Sound like a good idea to you? Or would you just fork out the dough and replace the bumper just to mount some lights on the front? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.